the existing network of people who have a lot of friggin' first mover advantage over you could build a system that
and a lot
precludes
of wealth.
that could work well enough and preclude Bitcoin from winning. Okay, Spurg boy, keep thinking that math wins. Keep thinking that.
You got to take human emotion
and then someone's going to walk into your room and they're going to come. They're going to walk up to you and they're going to grab you by the shoulder and they're going to punch you in the mouth and say, "Give me your treasure." What are your 24 words? No, Bitcoin wins. Give me your 24 words or I kill your dog.
Yeah.
Give me your 24 words or I kill your kid. Like, dude, you have to realize that that's the world we live in. It has always been that way. This is the failure of you know, I'm serious. Like, it's a failure of that kind of thinking. I'm not saying that your heart's in the wrong place at all. Not at all.
Right. No.
I want it to work, but you have to prove to me that you can build systems that are going to be able to compete that way. And I don't see it yet. I don't see it. I talked to Marty Bent recently, and he doesn't think that, he doesn't see it yet. Caitlin Long wants to believe that it's happening. I don't. I'm like, okay. I don't know. Everybody's got a different opinion on this. We'll find out who's right. I'm agnostic. People ask me like, well, what do you own? Like, I own a lot of gold. I own some Bitcoin. I own some Ripple. I own some cash. I got it all. And I own a couple of stocks, not a lot. And I wouldn't own any of it. Honestly, I mean, and for, I agree. I mean, for disclosure purposes, whatever I have in my, in my retirement accounts, I'll be honest with you, it's all freaking gold and Bitcoin anyway. Like it's all I got. I mean, I'm just, I'm just like, it's just gold and Bitcoin and silver in a tax advantaged account. That's it. It's the only difference. It's the same thing. But ask me, do I have a life insurance policy denominated in dollars? Yeah, I do. Is it right? Is it a great return on my investment? No, it's not. Am I invested in a depreciating shitcoin? Maybe. Yeah. We'll see what happens. The next 5 years are going to determine whether or not the purchasing power of the dollar for the first time in a long time starts to rise as opposed to fall. And when you are in that environment, what do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to do? Is it going to rise?
You would think
only if it's the thing causing the dollar to rise in value by being the collateral underneath the dollar. So what do I think for gold and silver? I think silver is a different story completely. Gold. Let's run some math. Let's assume that the Federal Reserve, the one act that's going through the Congress right now has the provision in it that the Treasury is going to remit and then emit and re-emit IOUs or receipts, to the Federal Reserve for the gold. They're going to revalue it and they're going to put it back on the Fed's balance sheet. Here's the fun part. Everybody's been like, there ain't no gold in Fort Knox, dude. It's not there. They sold it all off. They gave it all. No, they didn't. It's all there. Moreover, what happens if we've all talked for years like that China has more gold than they actually can lay claim to more gold than on their balance sheet. They've all said the same thing about the Russians. Russians probably have 5,000 tons more gold than the Bank of Russia has officially in its reserve. Maybe that's 10. I don't know. It's some number. Chinese probably have a lot more. Why do we believe the United States doesn't again? What if we were to find out that not only does the United States have its 8,133.5 tons of gold that's on the Fed's balance sheet, currently held at $42.22 an ounce, for a whopping accounting value on the Fed's balance sheet of $11.04 billion, as opposed to the $900 billion or so that it is in actual marketable terms today. What if the United States actually has something like 11,000 tons of gold? It issues the receipts, but in order to consolidate the federal balance sheet, you got to call in the gold from the Fed, revalue it, and then send it back to the Fed. Now, all of a sudden, the Fed's $6.2 trillion balance sheet has $900 billion worth of gold reserves in it. Now the Fed is only 7 to 1 leveraged, not 60 to 1 in accounting terms. 7. That's at $3,400 an ounce. And the Treasury admits that it's got a couple of thousand tons of gold. So it's got a few $100 billion in gold. Oh, that changes the calculus about what's. Now let's move the price of gold to $5,000. At $5,000, the gold on the Fed's balance sheet is worth 20% of the Fed's balance sheet at current size of the balance sheet, or 20, or a 5 to 1 leverage ratio. Now let's talk about a 5 to 1 leverage ratio, shall we? That seems reasonable. Maybe it needs to go down to 2. Well, okay, fine. Then gold's $12,000 an ounce. Now we're at a 2 to 1 ratio, and we've added more money to the balance, and we back more Treasury. If the Treasury has a couple extra thousand tons of gold just laying around, just saying. The way you get out of this, it's all accounting. You grow the asset side of the balance sheet. You can grow gold in terms of price, Bitcoin even as well. You grow them into a market that allows you to then expand the volume of dollars running around. But you back the same number of dollars with a higher percentage of gold and or Bitcoin. And obviously UST bills at the same time. But the free banking model is actually incentivizing Americans and American banks to hold Treasury bill as opposed to everybody else. Far more than it currently does. So now we're setting up a domestic dollar that trades at a different price internally behind the tariff wall than externally. Still a dollar, except foreigners get to buy those dollars for $1.05. And Americans get to buy those dollars at 95 cents. You see what I'm getting at? We've been doing it the other way.
Right.
Foreigners have been buying them for 95 cents, and we're paying $1.05 to get access to dollars. Because we have to borrow them from the Fed. So, not completely, but basically. Let's reverse that dynamic. Now let's talk. And then let's start building, and then let's turn around and keep the wealth internally inside the country, and those banks will then have the option of converting some of those profits into gold, put on their personal balance sheets, outside of the reserve assets that they currently have. Now, shareholders in the bank, again, it's all a virtuous cycle of wealth generation for Main Street. Okay? You have to think in those terms. And then you also have to stop thinking about only the liability side of the balance sheet. You got to start thinking about the asset side of the balance sheet. As I said earlier, if you think that Alaska is not worth more than most countries, you are out of your fucking mind, especially at $7,000 an ounce gold or $10,000 an ounce gold or $120 an ounce silver. All of a sudden, Alaska, which I don't know, maybe is worth $15 trillion today, all of a sudden it's worth 30 to everyone else. All of a sudden, the numbers change. You can actually have set up a system where, as you know, we've always liked about Bitcoin, a system where the purchasing power of the dollar goes up, but not necessarily change the exchange rate of the dollar overseas. The purchasing power of the dollar can go up internally and not go down, and not then create a desire to go put it somewhere else by having singular exchange rates. It's a different world. It's a different model. I don't have a full handle on it yet, but I know that model exists, and I know that that's the model that everybody's putting together.
If you like that clip, then you definitely got to check out this next spicy clip. I think you're really going to like it. Come on, check it out. But if you want the full version, the full interview, then check that out over here. Come on, do it. I'll see you in there.